Do a quick tour of the new uh, types. Basically, we've got events, which were here before, event calendar. There are no events currently. And now we have a social feed under about. Social feed is basically a list. There's two tests I have. This is in AKCFC right now. There's an image, there's a body, there's a title. There's two of them here. So they just exist in a feed similar to Facebook. If I was to manage this stuff, I would go to the AKCFC site. And what I need to do is I need to append /user to the end of the URL. When I do /user, that means then I can type in username event, password, and log in. This is for the person in charge of submitting and managing events. Once I do that, I get a black bar at the top, and what that allows me to do is go to add content, and there's only one kind I can add, campaign events. So when I click on that, I am allowed to add an event. So I'm going to do Todd's test event, body, and you can play with this if you're into doing it in code versus plain HTML, but that stuff could just be left. The editor is there, and there are some styling things that people can do in there to add basic functionality like bold and alignment and all that stuff. The most important part is the dates. So here we have a calendar, so I can show the date. I'm going to do it on Friday the 13th. We'll do just 2045. Friday the 13th. This is going to end at 22:45. I'm going to hit save, and that's all there is to creating that event. Now the events I have, I can edit. I can't edit other content, but everything as an author that I add, I can go back and say, geez, that wasn't right, and I can click on edit, and I can add something or change something and do whatever I need to do. Make changes. I can hit save. Now this will show up on the calendar view. So under the event calendar, on Friday the 13th, Todd's test event is there. If I click on it again, because I'm logged in, I get this edit view tab. I get this stuff that everybody else doesn't get to see. So very easy for me to manage things. If I want to add something else, another campaign event, I just hit add event again. Then I can go Todd test 2, another test event. I'm going to bake this on the 20th, and the end time will be 20. And I hit save. Now I should have two events. If I look here, event calendar, two events. Perfect. Now I'm going to log out, and I'm going to pretend that I am the social poster now. So again, I'm just going to append user to the end of the URL. I get a login screen for that. An event, my password. Now, very similar to before, I have this add content, add campaign events. Sorry, I think I did this wrong. Yes, this is events. That's not what I wanted. I already did events. Let's try this again. User. Going for social, I think is what I was going for. So let's try social. They look very similar on the back end. So, okay, social. So here, add content, social post. Simply need to go in here and do Todd's social 3. In this case, I'm going to actually grab some. I'm going to grab a little text here just so we have something a little more interesting. So I'm going to slap that in there. Now I also have the ability to upload an image, so I can grab interesting. Let's just go here real quick. Not what we wanted. Not what I wanted. Something a little simple here, I guess. Doesn't really matter what we pick, right? We can do this. Upload. So, images there. Now, this is the part we mentioned before, alternate text. The alt text is the alt text, the title you can use as well. Again, it tells you even what it is. Titles used as a tooltip and mount or over the image. A lot of times they can be the same. I'm going to do that. I'll save. So now I've got a social post. So if I go to social feed, I can look down here and think, well, there's my post. And there's a couple others I created before. So any one of these that I have created as the social poster, I can modify. These I did not create, or this one I should say, I did not create. The editor created this one, so I can't modify it. The editor also created that one, so I can't modify it. And the one I created, I now have an edit tab for, so I can actually go back in there if I decide I want something to be different, and I can maybe who knows, make that bold, so I can save that. Now when I do make changes, you know, they're done there, and I can make changes back in. The other thing I can do is, as with my own content only, I can say, you know what, I really screwed up here. I'm just going to totally start over, and I can delete this. I'm not going to do that right now, but you get the idea. So again, just content. The only content you can add as a social author is social posts. I can't add events here. I can't manage events here, but somebody can, and that is the editor. So that's our third role. User. I get a login. I get to log in now as the editor. I made the username editor. Log in with the password. Now the editor's got a little bit more going on here. The editor has content, add content. So I can actually, as the editor, view all content on the site. I can't change all content on the site, but what I can change is the two types that I have access to, which is campaign events and social posts. If I'm interested in managing either one of those, I can filter and go just to social posts and hit filter. And now I have a list of the social posts on the site. I can see that this person just put this new post there. I'm actually going to edit that for them because I don't like it exactly as it is. It was almost right. I'm just going to change something there and save. So now, as the editor, I have the ability to change other posts. I can change just two because I'm an editor, so I can edit that one if I wanted to. I can go into the event calendar. I can look at an event. I can take that event, I can modify it, so I have control over all the posts in the social feed, and I have control over all the events in the event calendar, including editing or deleting them. So that's the editor role. The editor can add content too. So as an editor, if I don't, I can click on content again and I see all the content on the whole site. Filters still applied, I believe. So I can see all the content on the site. The nice thing is it's the latest stuff is shown first. So if somebody just added something, I don't even need to filter. I can usually just go up, there it is. But that's all the content, but I can also go to add content. I can make a social post right from here, or I can make a campaign event post right from here. So it's that simple. I typically like to log out when I'm done, so I'll send you guys credentials when you're ready. If this looks like it makes sense, I only have it on AKCFC right now. I'll deploy it on the other sites that we have and then give you guys credentials, and you guys can go to town doing the posting on there. So let me know if you have any other feedback on that or any other questions, and hopefully this is what we're looking for.